Good afternoon and welcome to the Pittsburgh Land Bank board meeting for Friday, July 9th, 2021. Greg would ask you to please call the roll.
All right. So we have Councilman Reverend Burgess.
Here.
Dr. Jamil Bey.
Here.
Councilman Lavelle. Doug Anderson.
Here.
Senator Fontana.
Here.
Council President Kel Smith.
Here.
Steve Mazza. Wanda Wilson. All right. I believe we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. That leads us to public comments. Members of the public who want to address this land bank board. Is there any public comments? Is there any members of the public who are on the Zoom who want to address us? Seeing none, we'll go to the minutes of June 2021. You've already received them through email. I need a motion to approve the June minutes.
Chairman Burgess, Director Wilson just joined for the record.
Thank you very much. I need a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. The next order is my report. The only significant thing on my report is that, as you know, the mayor, along with council, have created an equity policy process to deliberate and to spend the ARP funding, and that we submitted to council our belief of how the rescue dollars should be spent. Council leadership includes Councilwoman Teresa Smith, President, Councilman Lavelle, who's the finance chair, and I'm the President Pro Tem. And so as part of those deliberations for equity, we believe very much into returning properties back to their rightful use, especially for low income, low and medium income home ownership and for affordable housing. As such, there is a line item in the ARPA funding for the land bank over the next 2 years. Now that funding amount has not been approved by council, but it is contained in the legislation that has been submitted to council for a public hearing and a post agenda. We've had the post agenda, we'll have a public hearing, and then council will do its due diligence and deliberate. And I do not remember off the top of my head, Diamani, how much that is. You may remember more than I do.
It's $10 million.
How much?
10 million.
So it's a significant amount of money that will fully operationalize the land bank, and we'll use it to get matching money from other sources. Any questions about that? The only thing is that our money will be spent very quickly. So we'll be using it fairly quickly to get projects out the door, and partnering with the URA to get projects out the door in the next 3 years. So we will go to getting the property, clearing the title, and putting a building on it in very quick fashion. So you'll see that funding used for some splash projects, I think. I'm not sure. Director Walker would have a better sense of it, but that's sort of my sense, is that this money will be used primarily as leverage money and for splash projects.
Yeah, and I think the ARPA overall, yes, but specifically for the land bank, I think that it will empower a neighborhood scale land recycling program that can fully equip neighborhood facing and community facing groups to do some of the land recycling efforts that have been stagnant due to COVID. And, prior to that, it was just really difficult to get the resources in place to do strategic site assemblage, get development projects going. So I think we will have a great resource at our disposal to empower that and to work in partnership with the URA for broad-based economic development. So I'm very excited about it, and certainly don't want to get ahead of council, but very excited to see that the land bank is being prioritized so we can build the model that we've been talking about for quite a few years.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions or concerns? No other questions and concerns. I will now turn over to Demonte Walker for the Executive Director update.
All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. So I have three specific updates today that I'm going to walk through. 243 Meadow Street, which I know has been sort of the seminal project for the PLB. It was our first official transaction. So I want to give the board an update to let you know that outside counsel is diligently working to do the title bring down of the title search report. So once that information is received, we will begin quieting the title and doing a filing with the courts to get a judgment that could happen within 120 days of the complaint filing. So we are making progress on our very first transaction to be able to transfer that property over to the intended buyer with clear title and no liens. And so there are a few outstanding land bank agreements. I'm actually going to have Julie Edwards walk through these. She has been spearheading a lot of these discussions with our three taxing body partners. So Julie, if you could very quickly run the board through these items.
Is it okay if let's have Greg do it? I think Greg can give us a pretty comprehensive update.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Julie and Diamante. So, yeah, so recently the land bank staff, we've been engaged in conversations with the PWSA, the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority, to basically draft out a memorandum of understanding so that we can come to an agreement for any future coordination that involves PWSA liens on a property that we can forego. So we can come to an agreement so that PWSA forgoes those liens moving forward. But we also recognize that we need to support them too, to make sure that they have their interests protected in the process as well. So we'll be closely coordinating with PWSA over the next coming months to finalize an agreement. To that end, we're also working with the three taxing bodies. I've set up a series of meetings, I've set up meetings in the coming months, the coming weeks, to really start to discuss the existing three taxing bodies agreement and how the land bank can get involved in that process, so that for future acquisition and disposition that involves the land banks, we have an agreement through these three taxing bodies to forego any existing liens or taxes on property. And these, all of these agreements are essential to the land bank really being able to use its full powers of acquiring and disposing of property that has any existing liens or taxes on the property, so that it can move much more efficiently into the hands of CDC groups and other communities throughout the city.
Any questions before we move on? All right. Very last item, a post fellow. So we introduced to the board this notion of adding capacity to the land bank through a post fellowship. And so Greg, I believe you attended the session maybe yesterday. So if you want to provide the board with an update there.
Yep, thank you, Diamante. So our match day is actually coming up this Monday. We received quite a number of really strong applicants. And so I will be conducting interviews along with an HR staff member on Monday morning, Monday afternoon, to go over basically all of the, we're going to have 25-minute session interviews with our applicants. And then from there, we will finalize our decisions, and the final matches will be decided on July 19th. The post fellow will start on September 7th, and their tenure will run until July 29th, 2022. As I've mentioned in the previous meeting, we're really expecting this post fellow to help support the day-to-day operations and the work plan of the land bank. I noted a few of their responsibilities in this slide, but basically we're looking for them to really help support the land bank work plan. And to that extent, whether it's preparing presentations, helping myself and some of the URA team members review property inquiries and next steps, but really just hoping that they can kind of get something from the process as well, and learn a little bit about the land bank work, but also about, the larger coordination efforts that involved the community and the city. So we're excited to have that Pulse Fellow on board, and we'll have new updates with you all at the following board meeting. Any questions around the Pulse Fellow? All right, so we'll move on to the finance report. Just to give everyone on the board an update of our expenditures for July. So we have the Post Gazette notice, we have the Google G Suite, we have a title service with our contract with Dickie McCamey, and then we also have the URA invoice for the services and facilities for Q1 and Q2.
Any questions about the financial report? If no questions, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. All right, that takes us to a legislative update. Senator Fontana.
Thank you.
MCTLL.
Yes, thank you. The final draft was submitted. The legislation is now referred to as Senate Bill 811. As you know, we're in recess till September, which means the bill will get assigned to a committee, but obviously there will be no committee hearing on it until probably September. I got to say that it'd be nice probably to talk about maybe a letter or something from all of us from the Land Bank or the URA asking the Senate to expedite, if they can, to try to move it along. Otherwise, these things sometimes get bogged down if there's not some attention made to them. So maybe that's something we could talk about over the next month or so, about putting something together to advocate and to point out how important it is that we get this done and move it along. So I don't know if there's anyone wrote anything like this in the House and moving it from that direction, but you know, this is moving slowly, but that's where we're at. Be nice to have a little strategy about pushing it along. So maybe a letter from the Land Bank, URA, even the mayor, whoever, just to try to push and point out the importance of moving this and getting it done as soon as possible.
We'll have our policy teams begin to take next steps on that. We'll get something drafted and get that over to you, Senator Fontana, for your staff to take a look at it.
Very good. Thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you very much. Any new business? Any resurgent public comment? If not, thank everybody. No, I think we are adjourned. Do we have a meeting in August or not, Diamante?
We are on hiatus for August. We will return in September.
That's what I thought. All right,
Reverend Burgess, before we adjourn, last month we talked about the potential or the idea, and I want to make sure I think this is something you would probably spearhead, the wisdom of having reaching out to the school board to see if they can have some representation in this.
Yeah, we've been able to. Yes, I think there's some. Yes, I think yes. We will negotiate with them. I think we have at least a seat vacant at the moment, and so we are. I think. Yes, there has to. I think it has to be more than offering them a seat. There has to be a formal negotiation with them to get them. I think that's going to be part of an MOU with them in terms of the taxing bodies, unless I'm mistaken, Director Walker.
Yeah, that's correct. I will be in attendance. We have a sort of a bi-monthly or a monthly staff meeting between the parties to talk about these things. I will be in attendance at the next meeting, and we'll have an update for the board with a formal recommendation about how we satisfy that seat and begin to talk about a more structural fix to our relationship with that member of the three taxing bodies.
Okay, cool. Good. I'm glad that that's moving forward. That's going to be an important piece.
It is.
Yep.
It's critical.
Yep. Anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Your second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. We are adjourned. Have a great summer.